Firstly, we thank Gotami Vihara schools and the organizing committee, and also everyone for coming to today's celebration. Is on the International Bhikkhuni Day. So in the past, we normally celebrate during Sanghamita Day. So Sanghamita Day is especially for remembering Rahat Sanghamita Theri that came to Sri Lanka to ordain the nuns there and the Sangha there thrive, and because from there then the Bhikkhuni actually spread worldwide, right? So this date is chosen by more to the Western group, and apparently they trace from the Sutta, right? The timing, the months, all those. They said tomorrow will be actually the Sanghamita Parinibbana Day and Arahat Mahinda's Parinibbana Day tomorrow. All right. But anyway, it's a day marked as usual, all the other days, Mother's Day, Children's Day, all the Valentine Day. So we also have Bhikkhuni Day. Okay. I think these are to commemorate each and everyone's quality, good quality that brings well-being to humanity, right? I say Mother Day, then we really we belanja our mother, makan and everything. But whether in practice, your mother say you don't have to give me anything, you just quite will do already. Don't give me trouble. That is a great gift to our mother, right? So same. So for practice, and they say is Bhikkhuni Day. So I just chose this simple topic to bring up to us. Maybe we know, maybe we don't know, but it's just to bring up so that we can see how, as a Dhamma practitioner or a Buddhist, or a disciples of the Buddha, what are the things, the heritage, that our great father, the Buddha, a great teacher, has actually passed down to us. In what kind of sacred form actually he has passed down this teaching to us, and how do we embody it, right? So we know, like in family, people will be waiting when our parents is going to pass the heritage to us. Correct or not? But I don't know whether we are ready that, the Buddha is actually passing this heritage, a very great inheritance. We know that the Buddha, when the son asks, what inheritance are you going to give me? Right? And the Buddha said, ordain. And then walk the path. Right? What other gift would be given? Right? That is a great gift. Right? And so, when we talk about institution, why is it institution matter? And this institution not only cover Bhikkhuni. Bhikkhuni only part of the institution, right? So institution, if we define, is an organization. That means you organize them. Organization founded for a religious or educational, professional or social, or an established law or practice. So means this organization, of course, there's traits or trend, how it was formed with guidelines one. It's not that, nowadays people like to have free and easy one. You do your way, I do my way. Actually, sometimes they go no way. Because they don't have a proper guide. They are not following into the truth. It's just, you suka, I suka. So you see, you look around, semua, you suka, I suka, you tak suka, what they create? Chaos. Right? Actually, everything have its own truth one. Means the way how you get there fruitfully, or, with the max kind of good result. It's not any way one. And so it's so important. We can have different thinking about that. But it is an organized form that is being observed, what is the best. But But nowadays a lot of things change, yeah, because people are not trained to see the truth. They are only trained to see more likes in their Facebook, then that will aggregate who they are. Right? That's why the name is also called Facebook. They want more face, right? And then you can see that through those influence unwholesomely, it can even topple a country, right? And so these are the danger of it, right? If it's not used for the good purpose. Yeah. Okay. So next, yeah. So now we look at the Buddha's teaching, yeah, and his setting. Although the Buddha never specified, but definitely it is there. Right? What a sacred structure and strength in the Buddha's teaching. We may think it's just a teaching, yeah? But you see, the Buddha empower. From beginning of his enlightenment until his Mahaparinibbana, the Buddha always talk about this fourfold assembly. Means he has actually started there, and empowered this group of practitioners to carry on or to prolong the Buddha's teaching. Right? So we say the Buddha's teaching is not personalized, that it's like somebody ABC's teaching that we follow. When I say the Buddha means the awakened one, the teaching of the awakened one means somebody who's awakened. Yeah. So not because of glorifying a personal teaching, but it's the teaching of the awakened one. So he actually empower or embody this teaching into this four group of people. Right? Who are they? The bhikkhu. In English we say monks. But of course the word bhikkhu is very, from what the Buddha taught, it's not the word monks in English that we understood now. For example, people will say, hey, how come the monk got family one, can kawin one? Right? We also, how? Right? We puzzle, right? So the English word of monks is very loose. But when I say bhikkhu, that word means the first of their vinaya is that if they are in married life and if they have any sexual intercourse, they are defeated to become a bhikkhu. Means no more bhikkhuship, totally out. Right? So we can say priest lah, but not bhikkhu. Right? So that is very clear for us Buddhists. According to the Buddha Vinaya. So for bhikkhuni, we say bhikkhuni nuns, right? But now the word nuns also very loose. So we have variety, type, and then the definition, and we also get confused which is which, right? As long as they wear a kind of robe, then we say, oh, all are bhikkhuni sometimes. That is not correct. All right? So bhikkhuni also have their own bhikkhuni development guideline and all those things to be able to being ordained into that sangha. Yeah? So, but again, nowadays we say there are many different people and different way they want, like fast track or whatever. So we also have to be careful, lor. Now even in the education system, recently I was like, if this were to continue, really, the world will be in chaos. Right? In education itself, I heard, it's a kind of institution too, right? I heard people can sit exam for another. Have you heard? Sit one exam, 7,000 ringgit. Now online worse. So people get the certificate without being trained. And worse, what precept they broke? Stealing the certificate, right? Lying, right? So immoral. Even for education, it can be bought. Institution who's not upholding the standard or the truth or the spirit of why the institution is set up, then chaos, right? So you may place your trust into different thing, but then it doesn't carry out what it should be. And so now we are also facing this kind of challenges, whether in our society or sometimes even for the monastic also they face challenges. Not only now, we know during the Buddha's time too. Alright? So this institution, that's why the Buddha said in this way, not only the Sangha, means a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni, but also this embodiment of the teaching, yeah, and for prolongation of the Dhamma. He also empowered the laymen and lay women. Means 4 groups, yeah. Not any group is missing. 4 groups have to be there. Then the Sasana will last longer. Okay? So means each one balance the others. Support, yeah, so that the 4 will thrive. Last time I still remember when I asked Chief, why don't you start a bhikkhuni order? And then Chief told me, he said, yeah, it's good to have 4. Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha, then lay Upasika, then lay women, Upasaka, and then Upasika. Then Chief gave me a simile. He said, a car must have 4 wheels. Right? Then it will be more stable and can run faster. Right? True or not? 3-wheeler and 4-one, which one can run faster and longer and farther? Of course 4 lah. Right? So, then but the Chief said, but someone have to lead. Right? So in any institution, someone have to lead. But later you'll find not only someone, there's someone and many other together they lead as they practice together. Right? And then what the Chief also say, we must come with a institution, means what they call the Bhikkhuni Training Center, and provide Bhikkhuni training program, good training program for them. Then he said, the Bhikkhuni will flourish. Right? So isn't it true? We need a kind of institution. Yeah, you have a training institution. You also not only institution, you must also have the content, the program. Same with the Dhamma. Right? So the Buddha have the institution of this 4-4 assembly. And then also the institution specifically here, today we celebrate Bhikkhuni International Day. So we also touch on the Bhikkhuni of today. Because we also, in the past, we do not know. We only know there are monks. Right? No female one, right? It's like a taboo even to us. Right? But we are very fortunate, after 1,000 years, the Bhikkhuni order was revived again, by those pioneers who are so brave to come out. Right? It may take their life, it may take their career, it may take many of things from them, but they stood up and they go forth. Right? And after go forth, not only settle, right? Then still they receive a lot of reaction. Yeah? And but anyway, they thrive, and then they continue to be diligent, they continue to be strong, determined, and resilient, so that the Buddha Sāsana can continue to prolong. Right? So it all depends on these 4 assembly, and Bhikkhuni Sangha is completing today in our world. If you are born last maybe 100, 200 years, sorry, you cannot find. Right? But today we are very fortunate in this era. At our time, we can find the Buddha's teaching. We can find the existence of 4 assembly, and we are still in the development. Because still very few. And at the same time, we know that the Bhikkhu Sangha are declining in our modern time, right? Because of modernization or for whatever other reason, And so, third one, right? Even with this, the Buddha's teaching, you can find also the development of physical structure of the Sasana, right? What are the physical structure? So earlier, the Buddhas go from one place to another place without any place, right? Without a permanent place. But after that, people start to make offerings of park, for the bhikkhus to stay. So like when they go to, let's say, KL, they can come to Gotami Vihara to stay, or to area, So they need to kind of inform, and so this particular structure, monastery, developed, means like Jetavana, Veluvana, Poparama, and many other park, offered by the lay people. So this is also a sacred structure, because when people think of them, people will think of something good to learn, something pure, something spiritual, and people can learn about how to deal with their life in a more proper way, successful way, happy way, So physical structure is also a necessity, in the propagation of the Buddha Dhamma and also fulfilling the Buddha's vision. So beside that, then the Sima. Maybe a lot of us hardly hear this word. So Sima is considered the womb of the monastic. That is where they are born. Because the ordination cannot be taken somewhere else in any temple you want to take ordination. It is not done that way. You have to come to a properly consecrated Sima. Right? So Sima is where a boundary where they do all that we call ecclesial duty. I mean the Sangha's duty to perform there. Not anywhere one. Right? So this we do not know. It's just that we think so simple. Ordina, I have place, come. It's not like that. So this place must be consecrated, agreed upon by the Sangha to be the place for the ordination or for running like our uposatha and all those things. So it's a dedicated place for purity, because there is where they do the confession, they resolve the matter about the Sangha, they give ordination, So that is Sima. And then, of course, the Dhamma Training Center, where they can impart teaching of the Buddha, right? Next. So next is, what is a sacred structure there? So the Dhamma Vinaya and the training. So we know that when the Buddha, before he attained Mahaparinibbana, whenever another asks, in future, how should they carry on without the Buddha? So the Buddha said, in future, Dhamma Vinaya is your teacher. So the Buddha didn't appoint any successor. Because with being wise, I think the Buddha can see flaw in a person. But in a Dhamma Vinaya, then it's safer. Right? So the Buddha said, in future, Dhamma Vinaya will be your teacher. Right? And so in this way, that's why the training. So the Buddha's teaching is always in the form of, the Buddha said, have to practice. Right? Then at the same time, not only practice, got to train. Like we said, in order to develop higher mind, we have the threefold training. Means your sila, means fulfilling the principles of life, right? Like your 5 precept, 8 precept. Then for those who go forth, 10 precept. For those bhikkhu, 227. For bhikkhuni, 311. So these are the guide of principles that refine your mental purification, right? So it's not for the sake of like controlling you, but it's for the refinement of the mental attitude and also the mental state. So the Dhamma Vinaya is a form of training. So it's not just study, very good scholar, can argue, can present, but then in practice, then you see, apa, So that training means to refine further. But of course, it's not for us to like keep commenting, but we also have to look at ourselves, right? But the thing is, remember, it's a training. We train and train and train until we attain that state. So of course, there are also programs for lay people, like the Buddha even in Sigalovada Sutta, is a layman code, how laymen should live their life. So how monastics should live their life, and how laymen also have to live their life as to have a fruitful life. So layman program. And then in the society, we know that the institution of the individuals. So the Buddha focused on individual, how we should transform ourselves, and then when that transformation takes place, it will be a benefit, a gift to all. All right. So if a person we don't train ourselves, then of course we give a lot of problem to actually others, right? Then the family institution, yeah, so it's also another unit of institution that is important. Then how Dhamma can be imparted to them, yeah, and the community, yeah, the society. So these are the embedded in his teaching, how the individual, family, and community can continue to be developed. The last part, of course, in the structure, yeah, is also how beings can accumulate merits and awakening, and to strive on until Nibbana is attained. And then in this sense, then we can transmit to another generation. Okay, next. So this one, we know today we are very lucky. We have the 4 living assemblies. Like in Malaysia, now is developing, yeah? At least we can see the 4 assembly coming together in harmony. In some other place, you still can't really see, right? And I think in Malaysia, we are again very fortunate. We can see the bhikkhus or bhikkhunis, right, coming together and teaching and in function or whatever, yeah. So that this can be an inspiration for, you know, the Sasana to continue to move better, right? So monastic role is to preserve and practice the Dhamma Vinaya full time and guide others towards the path of liberation, right? The lay people, yeah, they support the Sangha, so and practice the Dhamma in daily life, right? So both has their own duty and role, yeah, in the society. Then the 4 assembly allows for mutual learning, support, transmission of Dhamma, progress in the society, and the prolongation of Buddha Sāsana. So it means monastic and lay both have to practice together. In the first place, we say when we started all this, it should be in a good spirit of the Dhamma Vinaya. So if they are in the Dhamma Vinaya, then it won't go wrong. If the lay devotee also learn and understand, the lay devotee won't support one, right? Because you know it's not the right thing. But these are the things that a lot of lay devotee like. So because they like, got market. So then market become saturated with this kind of unwholesome activity for them. Right? So we have to know which is which that to be practiced. So that's why lay people also have to be educated, yeah, in the Dhamma Vinaya. They don't just believe. When you believe, then you may believe the wrong thing, and you get yourself into wrong action or wrong belief, wrong intention, and that will cause your life in the wrong way. Right? So it's very important that we all know that where is our role as a Buddhist. Not 1 year once Vesak Buddhist or festival Buddhist. Right? It's again our role. Next. Okay, we know that the true Dhamma, yeah, sometimes we say Dhamma also have to add some more another word, the true Dhamma. Right? What is the true Dhamma? It started from the Buddha's first teaching in Sanath, where the discourse of Dhamma Cakkappavattana Sutta, yeah, the first sermon was taught. And this sermon is a very important one that we have to come back and refer again and again. Although the teaching is very simple, few lines, yeah, but it's a very powerful teaching. First, the Buddha advised, don't go to 2 extremes. One is the extreme of indulgence in sensual pleasure. The other extreme is the indulgence in what? Self-torture, yeah? Self-mortification. So this is the first thing we have to do in our life. Don't get into these 2 extremes. We can see in our modern life, the extreme of sensual pleasure. What are they now? Handphone. The extreme of self-mortification? Handphone also. Yeah, lor, because they can be in one position until they have to go for chiropractic. Correct or not? So this is the drug of today. Right? So, but we know, you see, the first thing the Buddha said, don't go to the extreme of these 2 things. Right? and there are many others beside handphone, right? It's actually because of sensual pleasure. Your eye, ear, nose, everything are involved, right? So second, the Buddha said, by not falling into, by avoiding this two extreme, you must also have a way, a path for you to practice. So what are they? We say middle way. But middle way is not that we always like to reason on. Middle means if I take 4, then I take 2. That means middle. And some people even like, when you start to practice more diligently, they say that you are already skewed. They said, what? 走火入魔咗咯呢個. Strange, right? Because they are stemming from what? The idea, the belief of we human must have sensual pleasure. If no sensual pleasure already, 冇意思. You hear around? When you're more into Dhamma practice, they will always say, already extreme already. But actually, what is the extreme? You are entering the middle path, right? But the people who are extreme one, they say you are extreme. Because their life is filled up with sensual pleasure. So they judge a person who are spiritual to become an extreme practitioner. So what a world, right, today? Everybody also get very confused. You want to be more spiritual, people say you are extreme. But the one that extreme, because they are majority, you also do, I also do. So I think, I'm happy, you're happy, that guy happy. So this is normal, right? So it's sad that to be spiritual also a lot of challenges, right? But the Buddha taught us, remember, middle way. And the middle way, you have to know what it is. It cannot be, middle way middle way. What is middle way? Then you say, I don't know. So when you don't know, you will fall into the two extreme, right? So this is sad, isn't it? We in a world now, today, so fortunate that we have this path, but yet many is yet to see. Right? And those who are walking the path, like I say, they also face a lot of challenge because a lot of kiri kanan keep pulling them back. Yeah, don't go, right? And but actually it's very real, very practical in our life, and we know when we do it, our mind become more peaceful, more able, and even more helpful, right? So we know that this is the way, So Noble Eightfold Path, because we see what suffering is. A lot of people don't suffer, they don't come to Dhamma. Only when they suffer, they will start to explore about Dhamma, right? Because they start to see a little bit of suffering. But they haven't understood all, they see some. So they will start to find the meaning. Why me have to suffer? Right? But it's true is we are the one create our own suffering. The world is such. The only thing we can change and amend is our own state of mind. Right? If the state of mind is filled with defilements, of course more suffering. If less, then less suffering. If there's no craving, no suffering. So that's all. Not very difficult, not very far. Don't have to imagine. And it's real. So this is a very important sutta. That's why the Buddha said, walk the middle way, the true Dhamma. Now we are talking about the true Dhamma. Walk the middle way, the Noble Eightfold Path. And then what is this middle, what they call the Noble Eightfold Path? Then the Buddha said, you must have right view. Right view about what? Four Noble Truths. How do you practice the Four Noble Truths? There are 12 turns. Right? So not only you have to know Four Noble Truths, like we said, suffering, cause of suffering, right? Then the end of suffering and the path that leads to the end of suffering. Not enough with that, the Buddha said, when suffering, there is suffering, you need to know there is suffering. Not only you need to know, has been fully understood. Right? Then cause of suffering, then not only you need to know what is the cause of suffering, but what you need to do, you ought to eradicate. Means You have to put in action to eradicate the cause of the suffering. Then finally, you has been fully eradicated the cause of suffering. Right? Everything, the root you pull out already, then no suffering. Right? Then the third one is cessation of suffering. So the Buddha said, not only you know there's cessation, right? All the suffering actually can be ended. Right? It's not, the Buddha's teaching is so passive, people say, nothing but suffering. Not true. So we have misrepresented him. Right? The Buddha said, there's an end to suffering. Right? And then what we should do, we ought to realize there's an end to suffering, and we realize fully the end of suffering. So all this, of course, need cultivation or to make it happen. Right? So it doesn't fall from the sky. You cannot just pray, worship only. It doesn't come. Right? The fourth one is, we said, there is an end, the path to the end of suffering. So what is this path? So the Buddha said, this path, it must develop. It must develop. Right? And finally it has been developed fully. So you see or not, it becomes 12 tons. Right? The Buddha said, before that I haven't seen this 12. I didn't claim anything about this. And this thing is unheard. Nobody have said before. Right? And the Buddha discovered, if we want to end suffering, because we know from birth to death, we see in people's life, we see in our life. But we also have the question, right? We say, I wish for happiness, I don't wish for suffering. But how to do that? Then find the true Dhamma. Then you find a way. Right? So these Four Noble Truths, we always say Four Noble Truths, right? So if you press our Buddhists further, what is Four Noble Truths? Then they will start to... so means we don't remember. We can be in Dhamma for a long, long time. But, has our institution gladly declared that our Buddhists are all well-learned? Or cuma kita dengar sini keluar sana, sana masuk sini keluar. It doesn't retain. So it's so important. Yeah. So for the institution that hopefully we can plant the seed really deep into them. So we need certain structure. Yeah. So the way the Buddha teach is in such a way that it will be embedded into your mind stream. Right? But now our education fail. We produce a lot of PhD, master degree. When you ask them certain things, I cannot remember one. And then they don't practice. Right? So it's also dangerous. We can present very well. Yeah, we can talk very well, argue very well. But then come to practice, say, how come? So it means we are only for learning but not practicing. So very important, we have to remember, this is the first teaching that rolled out to the world. Right? And it talks about few important things that really leads you to Nibbana. So we know through this teaching itself, right? Sotapanna was made and later Arahant. Right? So the state of realization, the Sotapanna, stream entry. Again, a lot of us lupa. We always say, wow, Sotapanna. So we imagine it's a person. Right? Maybe with the chop here, Sotapanna. Because the Buddha never issued certificate. Right? So, you see our imagination very interesting one, I mean we are learner. So we go through those process. That's why I say Sotapanna. Even when we mention nowadays very famous discussion, somewhere workshop, we talk about Sotapanna. Our imagination is always to a person. Actually, what is Sotapanna? Stream entry. It's your mind. Right? We have to come to the realization. That's why the Buddha spent 6 years to test everything out. But we here, we don't have to test like the Buddha tested. Right? We can very easily follow the, what they call, a tested path. We just follow. Right? And this is so important this institution of Dhamma Vinaya. Yeah? And from here we know that the Bhikkhu Sangha developed. Right? So then it's how then slowly, not only the Bhikkhu Sangha, the Upasaka, the Upasika, then the last one, the Bhikkhuni order. Right? So remember, true Dhamma, how the true Dhamma wrote out? Dhamma Cakkappavattana Sutta. So it's very important, like new moon, full moon, of course it's hardly being chanted. We teach so many things, but this one hardly being chanted. So you can actually open and have a look in the Arya chanting book. We have the Dhamma Cakkappavattana Sutta too. Right? Means new moon, full moon. If you chant the Pali already, you read the English to reflect. So this teaching is never heard before, one the Buddha said. Right? After his enlightenment, he knows already how, and then he put it in place. Right? But because it's so profound, not everybody can understand, right? And can really embrace it, especially lay people. That's why lay people, the Buddha will teach very differently. They say the Buddha will talk about dana first, because everybody know, right? Got dana, got well. So good combination. Then sila, yeah. Then only talk about heaven. Then only talk about renunciation of the sensual pleasure. So if straight we say, hey, renounce your sensual pleasure, then we'll say, sorry lah, not for me. Correct or not? I think you ask 100% say, sorry, not for me. Right? So that's why the Buddha very skilled. Yeah, very skilled. Before renounce sensual pleasure, the Buddha said, about sensual pleasure, how sensual pleasure you get the gratification. You dapat shock. But the Buddha said, in the shock, danger is more than the shock. Right? Danger is more than the shock. Right? So, but we still maybe cannot imagine. Right? And then the other one will be, after that, then Buddha only talk about the advantage of renunciation. Means renouncing this sensual pleasure. Right? So, to be holy is not a dream. Just renounce your sensual pleasure. You are already a spiritual. You'll be surprised. Right? Renouncing sensual pleasure is very spiritual. Right? And the last one, then only the Buddha talk about the Four Noble Truths. That's the last part, So it means when they are engaged and their mind are inclined to something wholesome, then the Buddha only talk about Four Noble Truths. Then they can understand their suffering. Right? Or else you say, what suffering? 我日日都有得食，我愛食燒肉又有得食，我食燒賣又有得食，我愛食二寶雞又可以飛起二寶雞食，everything, right? Everything they have. Then I said, what kind of suffering? Especially the youngster now, right? You as a parent, you give everything to them, right? So they don't know one. We know that how far we should make good use of this, and how far we have to educate with the proper education. Right? Proper training. Then the generation to come may continue. If our generation to come is such, then you can see nobody is safe. They can just, you don't give, they will just become lost their mind. And they can do anything when they are angry. Yeah? They don't see the consequences. So that's why nowadays children, if they're not trained to see the cause and the effect of their action, then they will grow into redundant adulthood. And they cause a lot of chaos to their parents, to their family, to the society. So this is again, we say, we have to ground to the word to give them the true teaching. Yeah? How to live being a human. Yeah, and how we live in a family life, in a community, and in a country, right? So, very important sutta, right? The first. So this has been ruled out. Now you see, when we say monument, you can see monument, right? When we go there and visit pilgrimage, why you see that the first thing come to our mind is what? If you know, you learn before, this is where all the Arahant, was here before. Right? And, you spin in your mind, the recitation of Dhamma Cakkappavattana Sutta, right? You can imagine how the Arahants become Arahant and so happy, they are there. And also Yasa and the friends also, then the 60 Arahant from here, the Buddha asked them, okay, now go to different direction. Each of you don't go together. One to each direction. To spread the Buddha Dhamma, which is beautiful in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. So, the mark of this thing, sometimes we may argue with people, say, Buddha taught not all this thing one. Right? Yes, he didn't teach us the what, but the marker of the place for the future generation can remind them about the good things of our forefather and foremother. Right? So we remember back when we go there, we feel so alive, and the Buddha's teaching is so alive again. Right? We go there, then you start to remember, hey, the Buddha actually thrived on earth one. Right? The Buddha was here before. Right? We say the awakened one, Siddhartha Gautama, after his enlightenment, he referred himself as the awakened one. So in Pali, we say the Buddha. Right? But from young, that's why we have to educate our children properly. Yeah? The Buddha image, we have to tell them this is a Buddha image, a symbol, a representation. Right? So the awakening comes within our mind. Right? So this is a monument that we say that monastery, in the past also it became a monastery. Right? Bhikkhuni Sangha, we say, is one of the 4 great pillars of the Buddha Sāsana. So the Bhikkhuni, in the past, we say, it was quiet for nearly 1,000 years. Now only about 28 years, the revival in 1996. And so these very important pillars, important to establish and support, because like Lichi say, 4 wheels we can be more stable and run faster. And we can balance each other. One day because first we thought like by Facebook and everything, maybe people know about the development. But to my surprise, actually a lot of people don't know. When I go to the north, to share with them about the Dhamma and about the Bhikkhuni, that is the first time they see. So a lot of them will still call me Sayali. So I'm sorry, I'm not a Sayali. So, because they don't know, in their life, in our life, we only see Sayali or Meiji or Tilashin. Right? So now it's a duty to kind of educate them too. And one of these brothers said, so he said, we see also some bhikkhus. And so when they see certain situation, then their mind think of, so very good, so your bhikkhuni come out, so we can actually like compete with the monk, So I'm sorry, we are not here to compete, Because sometimes they see some monks practice maybe not agreeable to them. So then they see bhikkhuni, and then they see, this bhikkhuni can actually deliver talk, can answer their question, can what? So they think, now, you all can actually come up more to compete with them. So I say, so sorry, please don't say like that. After people get wrong view, right, that the arrival of the bhikkhuni is to compete with the monk. Then the monk even feel more threatened. Then they won't support, So actually it's not. It's a compliment. Right? And it's already in the Buddha's vision that this fourfold assembly is the one that is going to bring forward his teaching. None is to be exempted. Right? So in the past, in Indonesia, when the last maybe 10, 20 years, still, not like now. Now they're more mellowed down. Right? In the past also, like in Indonesia, we have a conference. Then this Bante, he spoke like, he said, why are we having so many conferences and discussion and debates over should bhikkhuni be restored or not? So he gave example. He said, the table got 4 legs, right? So if 1 leg is missing, what happened? Can you use the table? Boleh lagi, tapi you don't feel good, correct or not? Then I say, if the leg of the table, 1 is missing, what should we do? Fix it, no? So should we discuss sitting everybody there? Should we fix this leg or should we not fix this leg? Does this thing actually belong to the Buddha time or not? This and that about that leg. Just fix it, right? Quite common sense. And then you say, if you see the table is not so, how do you say, making you understand, you say, okay lah, the chair that you sit also got 4 legs. 1 leg missing. Can you sit there comfortably? He said. Right? So if you can't sit there comfortably, what should we do? Just fix that leg lah. Habis cerita. Why want to have big conferences, argument, debates? Can fix the leg or cannot fix the leg, and at the end nobody fixed the leg. I said, very foolish. He said. So I still remember his simile so well, because he's really telling us sometimes we are so, naive or foolish, that a thing needs to be done, not because we want to do it the way we want, but it's already laid down by the Buddha. This is the Buddha's vision of the fourfold assembly to bring forth his Dhamma, not because of his, but because this is the Dhamma. This is the true Dhamma. And these 4, when they are strong, they go together, then Sasana will benefit more and more people from one generation to another, right? So it's important. So we say even like for Bhikkhuni Sangha, so it is an avenue for female monastic to have more conducive opportunity for learning and training, and for higher ordination and striving for liberation. They can have a full-time avenue to do that. It's not just only new, but it's already in the past. Yeah. Then also for householder, for female, to approach the Sangha, so that their learning also can be expedited. Because for bhikkhu, sometimes because they have their Vinaya, so the female cannot approach them individually or too personally. They also takut, they also don't want to entertainment. Right? So then, of course, the female will left with less opportunity to learn more deeper. So then this also will help. And also for female, sometimes they have problems, house things and everything. So they are not tell the bhikkhu one. For bhikkhuni, they will open up to tell. And then of course the female will understand a bit more on female matter lah. Right? And sometimes men, they will see what is the matter. Because their thinking is very simple one. Right? Female is very detailed. Right? And then because female from young, you're trained to be, we say that mother nurturing character, you'll be more, concerned about things, and when you do things, you do in detail. Not only that, you plan in detail. For men, they also say, there's too much, right? So in the past also, for men roles is I earn money, I pass to you, you count him the household thing, right? And sometimes people will think, what do you do at home, So until if the wife really away, they have to take care of the home, then they understand. Right? Every tidbit here and there all need time. Right? So not simple. So for this avenue, female also got the chance to learn more in depth. So they can approach a bhikkhuni, they can discuss and talk without having the idea of that. Did I break their Vinaya or or sensitive or something. So we also protect the bhikkhu sangha in that way, right? If not, sometimes we go too often meet the bhikkhu, then after that what happened? Not karanya metta sutta already, they go and fall in love, right? So that's why the Buddha also set this institution to protect, the Vinaya to protect, so that it does not happen the way it is. So that's why there's a discipline for that. And then for Bhikkhuni Sangha also, same, their duty is to transmit and prolong the Buddha Sāsana. Next one, So this is a place, Vesali is the first place where the Bhikkhuni Sangha was developed by Lord Buddha. And the first, Sangha of Bhikkhuni is developed, led by Venerable Mahapajapati Gotami. So Gotami Vihara here take the name of Mahapajapati Gotami. Okay? And also, like we say, although our institution here, Gotami Vihara, seems to look small, but the effort is very big. Okay? Meaning, without starting, maybe the idea of Bhikkhuni or the support of Bhikkhuni may not be concretized in a form of like institutionalization, because it's a registered Bhikkhuni center. At that time, we want to support the Bhikkhuni for the renunciants, whether they are 8 precept, 10 precept. And at the time, of course, we are also not very clear. But we started. We started to support, to give support, because that time we understand that those who take higher ordination, when they come back, they don't have place to stay. Right? So that's why Bhikkhuni idea was mooted in a way to support them. Then that's why Gotami started, right? With I think a few of the pioneers are here. Barbara la, Ratana la, Brother Wana, some more who? The beginning one. A few. But then continue with after that, all the ESCO are until now. All of them are, most of them are here. So with very good intention, the institution to support, the Bhikkhuni development in Malaysia. So at that time, no others. So Gotami was the first. Then later only Arya come in. Because that time got Bhikkhuni to lead. Last week I went to the north. I went to Taiping, Thames, to give talk, and after that also to Ipoh. So one of the sisters, she said, "Oh, Venerable, can I pay respect to you?" I said, "Oh, okay." Then after she told me, she said, more than 10 years ago, he said, she was one of the pioneer, where he said that time Bhante Agachita was also having the idea of starting a Bhikkhuni. I still remember last time Barbara did bring Venerable Dhamma for Vietnam to go and see Venerable Agachita and discuss about Bhikkhuni things. But I think at that time, of course, we don't have local Bhikkhunis. So she said the idea was there, and they also thought of getting the land opposite another small little mountain there, right, to start this idea. But he said, I go here and there, I couldn't find a Bhikkhuni in Malaysia. So the idea was shelved off. Right? Then he said, today, I see a Bhikkhuni in front of me, and I hear about the development of the Bhikkhuni, this training center, the Nandri and the Sima. He said, I was so happy. I can see in her eyes the tears also want to come out. And I can feel how she feels. Because, when you are into knowing that, this is such a great thing to do, and you want to do it, but at the time, no chance even to do it. Right? Now, of course, I said, it takes many years. She said, yes. So I said, the idea I have 20 years ago. Right? The Take High Ordination, 10 years ago. And then, we only started this year, piling started. So it takes years. Right? So she said, it must be very challenging. I said, yeah, of course got challenge, but then we still have solution. Right? So it was, when you hear from them, you never know. All these, our female lay devotees, when you hear, when you see, then you also have that kind of very strong commitment to make sure that the fourfold assembly is there to support the Sasana. Not because of who, but it's because of the Buddha Dhamma. Right? And because of these four can help really to bring forth the teaching. And we know that this teaching, the Buddha says, is beautiful in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. Whoever that partake this actually will bring a lot of well-being to them, to others. Right? Okay, recently, so we know that from there, the Buddha's teaching was spread throughout the world. And so even to our side here, called Suvarna Bhumi. Suvarna Bhumi to Suvarna Bhumi, some say Suvarna Bhumi is recorded into their history, like in Myanmar, Thailand, and even Cambodia and Malaysia. That time, is Tanah Melayu. Before that, it may not call Tanah Melayu, but it's a land of gold. So we still know that actually Malaysia, we have mining, but we in our time we only hear about mining, right? They maybe go somewhere, but undig yet. But last time along this path, it's all called Suvarnabhumi. Yeah, so it's also spread to us. So we know that Bujang Valley is one of the oldest until about 280. Yeah, the things that we found. Yeah, so all these are institutions that people set up in the past to continue to bring the Dhamma. But at that time already, I think the teaching has kind of from regional influence and from time, it can be the Abhinama period already and the Mahayana period. Right? So the early teaching of the Buddha at that time also slowly, different schools of Buddhism came up. Now, this is the one that we went to Sri Lanka, so important. Until today, we still can visit all this place, not because it's all the time there. So what we're saying is only maybe within 100 years, they have found all these places, and we have to thank the Xuan Zhang for recording a lot of these Buddhist holy site, and also some of the site that they heard or they, so they found all these places again back even in Sri Lanka Chronicle, and then we still can actually go to these places. Yeah. So this year we went there, and also we paid respect at the Arhat Sanghamitta Theri. Yeah? So she was the one that first bring this teaching of the Buddha and ordination lineage outside India. And luckily, when India 1280 was invaded by the Turk Muslim and massacre, so luckily in Sri Lanka it was thriving. So it was thriving until during the 1280 or so, they also get affected. But anyway, they revived back in 1580, right? So, but since then, the monk, they were struggling also to be ordained, and the nun didn't take place. Yeah, but we know because in India everything gone, no record. Right. So from there, apparently they also send nuns to China to ordain China nuns. So that's why we say the lineage is continue, but only when Tang Dynasty, the king decree only one type of Vinaya ordination. So they choose Dhammaguptaka. But Dhammaguptaka Vinaya is, when they compare to the Theravada Vinaya, is actually a branch of Theravada Vinaya. So, I mean, when we trace this thing, then they can trace back. So from China, they spread to Korea, to Taiwan, right? Japan. Yeah? So the modern time one, so that's why they invite the Korean Bhikkhuni to also help in the way of the earlier ordination, right? The Korea and Taiwan. Then after that, when they can take off by themselves already, then they start to have all the Theravada Bhikkhuni only for the ordination, right? So that's how they link back, right? The next one, Kusuma, Venerable Kusuma Theri, she is the one that stepped forward. She is a biologist, a professor, and at that time, of course, we have been teaching. Sometimes we have been teaching about the Buddha's teaching or whatever it is, but we are not the practitioner, so we can only say, yes, we must do this, must do that. When people say, what about you? Then they will think, we check up only, then nobody to start. So, but for her, she researched, because at that time they were arguing about the Vinaya. But she researched all the Vinaya. Yeah, there are about 6 main one, and so all the Vinaya rules is more or less the same, except some have more like those minors for compassion or for that. Then they have more. All right. So after researching, and then at that time, Venerable Mapalagama Vipusalara Tero. So he was also stepping out as president of Buddha Society of India to ordain, right? So it was like, so if you can see the scenario, so kanjong, because it's the first one, so they receive objection, right? So they don't want to announce so much, but because Sri Lankan, so most of them are not so highly educated. So then they invited her, you got to be the leader. Because you can translate, you know what's happening, you know all the Vinaya, because she go and research, and she went to Korea also to research, right? You are the most capable in the sense that you know, right? And we need leaders to lead, you cannot be, after they ordain, they don't know, right? They know only their, their country thing, the way they learn in Sinhalese, that's all, right? So, and all these nuns have been like maybe 30, 40 years into their nunhood, right? So this is the first time. So she stepped forward, and when she stepped forward, of course, she said, her job, everything she let go, right, to become a bhikkhuni. So at that time, it's like chicken and egg, If you don't start somewhere, nothing started. So who should come first and whatever? But we do know that ordination takes the bhikkhu sangha to start, right? So she was the first one, and she came back that time. Of course, in Sri Lanka, when you become monks or nuns, there's another institution to make sure that you are properly registered, right? And so the monks got their registration, but when they become bhikkhuni, at the beginning they give. Then, because of some party of the monks, say, no, this is Buddhist law. Cannot ordain, cannot give them that identity as bhikkhuni. So it was hang on for a long time, until the bhikkhuni that take the higher ordination after them have to be, because when she came back, she also proposed that, for this, and also the equal chance for the nuns to go to, they call it Pirivena, means Buddhist schools or Buddhist university. She was the one that put in, and go and see the president, go and see the, but they still hold on her request. And until 12 years ago, this nun took higher ordination, have to write a petition in for the Supreme Court to approve for her to get her IC with her bhikkhuni ordination already. And it took 12 years. Right? And then only this year, June 16, so the Supreme Court ruled that the bhikkhuni, means the IC, have to be officially given, because constitutionally they are entitled. Then secondly, they are ordained by the institution of bhikkhu that is registered with the nation. That means it's nationally registered bhikkhu center, bhikkhu sangha, who give ordination to all these bhikkhunis. And they have already about 3,000 of them, whole Sri Lanka, in 200 over institution. And you said you don't want to give them the IC just because somebody else said that this is a Buddhist law that bhikkhuni cannot be ordained. So it was overruled. So just June 16, right? So we never, like we said, know what are the things when it's true, but patiently we put in. And tomorrow evening, the International Bhikkhuni Day, so we are inviting one of the brother. He's from UN, but he's one environmental one. But he also actually was into helping all these things. Brother Don De Silva, quite elderly man. So he said, they work from no office, and they not say complain, they voice out without noise. So patiently take 12 years finally. Right? So sometimes, one truth things that you do, you can benefit a lot. So don't worry when you are doing good deeds and you follow the truth. It can help many people. So this is the the recent declaration. So from here, I think the landmark will change. Okay, so we can go further. This is just to give you all the idea. Right? Our late chief is one of the one bhikkhu that actually helped in the 1998 Bhikkhuni ordination international. That time about 144 bhikkhunis were ordained. All right. Next, okay, we are inspired by all the Arahant Theris. Right? Stories of 13 Arahant Theris. It can be more, but we said this. We can always get inspiration by reading the Theri Gatha and all those. Yeah. So the institution of Bhikkhuni Sangha is a very important institution to help, the Buddha Sāsana, and to help people to grow. This is where, in the past, still a lay person, a preceptor. That's how I look. Very, very Shaolin style, because I also learned Shaolin Kung Fu. Real one. Got connection with the past. Okay, these are the monuments I will say coming in Malaysia. The first Theravada Bhikkhuni, Sima, Nandri, and Dhamma Training Center in future. And we have recently launched for donation, and during our 10th anniversary, it was very well received. And so, of course, to build this project, like I say, I also never dreamed such a big project, right? But looking at it, of course, we look forward. So this will be one that help to cater for the Bhikkhuni Sangha, to cater for those who are fond of meditation. We have 10 rooms in the future to cater for people who would like to come and join to meditate and stay learning about monastic life. And so like new moon come in, 14 go back. 15 come in, 30th go back. So whole year round, people can apply to come in. Right? And and then other than that, of course, we also put two important marks there. One is the Dhamma Chakra in Sana, the Asoka pillar, and also another one on top of the building, that will be Vaisali, the Asoka pillar. So these two mark, one is Bhikkhu Sangha develop Dhamma Chakra Pawatana. The other one is to mark Bhikkhuni Sangha. So we can have full memory of our forefather who has done this for all of us. So hopefully next time another 1,000 year people find, or maybe under there, hey, here got Sima, Bhikkhuni Sima. So like that. So why, although it's not important, we said, but what makes it to the history, the teaching to be revived is from the proof, of all this teaching from generation to generation. Bodhi, live, Bodhi. When we remember the Bodhi, means enlightenment. This is also representation, Bodhi tree, white plant Bodhi tree, So in a monastery, normally we have few features. You have the stupa, then you have Bodhi tree, then you should have a monastic there. Means monastic there. And also, of course, your shrine. Right? So, you see, monastery is not just built with bricks. It's the intention of generosity, compassion, and wisdom. So, a monastery that given to the Sangha of 4 directions are for the welfare of the many. So, it's from the many, for the generations to come. So, that's why we say, the Buddha also said, merits of building a monastery is higher, even than take refuge, even than what? Because why? From there, the triple gem, the noble eightfold path can be passed down from generation to generation. We may say bye-bye to this world already, but they still stay, right? To benefit more generations. So all these spaces offer all the space for Sangha and also sacred place for lay people to practice, to hear the Dhamma, meditate, and develop spirituality. Thanks. So this is to show you how fortunate we are. At one time when the world was in chaos, right? Disasters, or maybe war, the place become, like that. Right? And maybe by the time they found, this is already maybe dig out, but before that, it's like a mound. Yeah, like a mound. You don't know that it's a stupa there one. Right? So now we are so fortunate when we go there, we can say, oh, this place like that, so nice, right? Before that, it's all under the earth. Right? So make good time. This is a time that we have this fortune. So we should be really, truly religion urgently cultivating. Yeah. Next, this is the centerpiece is a sima. Right? The rest, of course, we said we divided the whole place for the Bhikkhuni Sangha and also for our laity to come for practice. Yeah. Next one. Okay, Dhamma Vinaya. We said the training. Yeah. So it is about practice and training, not just learning. Right? Learning, no practice, you cannot get the fruit. Right? Then providing teaching of Dhamma to children, youth and adult. Then provide ethical guidance and skillful living. Yeah? And of course, act as a refuge for mental well-being. Right? People go to the temple, sometimes they see the Buddha image also, they feel so peaceful. Right? So these are the things that, in terms of institution, yeah, the Dhamma education is very important. Yeah? Right? Purpose of life, to realize the Dhamma and Nibbana. Then to overcome, because we are all spin by this one, earthworldly beings, always spin around, and then we also spin them around. Correct or not? So we don't blame outside. We have to always check from inside too. What are they? These are the things. This is the earth, 8 worldly beings. So either we go for gain, pace, fame or pleasure, or sometimes we experience loss, blame, disrepute and pain. So when we gain, praise, everything, we say we are so pandai. When lost everything, then we say what? Other people cause a lot of problem to us. Right? Actually, is it true? Because we don't understand. When you go from the left side one, it already packaged with the right. So if you don't go from the left, then you won't experience the right. Right? So these are the worldly wind. If we live by that, that's why we always get into trouble. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad. That most of the people on the right side, they will feel the world is so unfair, everything is so unfair about others are unfair. That's why it causes them suffering. Actually, no. It's because of this 8. Right? So when we are on the grain, praise, fame, pleasure side, always remember, it's all anicca one. Right? It come today, it will go one day. Right? So don't let this 8 wind spin you around. Right? Next. So very important to come to hear the true Dhamma, and knowing that also to receive the true teaching, also not easy. Yeah? What more to be born as a human, that you can sit here, and human who have fortune and your good merit to be able to hear the Dhamma. There are a lot of people cannot hear. Right? So they will rather go for hearing all the things that bring their difficulty into mind, but still they go and hear. But they say, come and listen to Dhamma, then no time. Right? I also share with some, I said, we all Buddhists, we have to do this. Don't be shy. Right? One time, one of the devotees said, during COVID, then she said, when she came, she was not very happy. She said, Ayah, I've lost, much money. I said, why? She said, I go to the Genting Highland, lost about 100K. I said, why you go there? You know already, right? Then she said, oh no, your Buddhist society, you only call once. Hey, do you want to come to the temple? Then we said, no. Then that's the end of story, right? I said, but they all call 10 times until I go. So what? That gave me the realization, yeah lah, we all Buddhists, they call people, say one time don't want to come, then whole life don't invite already. So how are you going to really benefit people? People call 10 times. Right? then get her there. So, do we do our part? That's why you always say, "Aiya, 做咩冇人嘅，冇人嚟聽經 only call one time. You want to come or not? Don't want. And that's it. Finish story. Then next time never invite already. So how is your Buddhist society or Buddhist going to grow? Right? So now I tell them, hey, call 10 times, not one time. But not say call 10 times in that sense. So means if today they say, oh, I cannot come. So I say, never mind lah, next time lah. Huh? Then you also have to be skillful. Okay, this person inclination is what? Some people, they all maybe light thing first all. So you invite them Vesak, charity, so they can makan first. They can, like light things first. Then slowly, right? Invite for dana. Then only got chance to listen to the Dhamma. You never know when. Sometimes one sentence, suddenly they are awakened. Right? Very strange one. Sometimes when I meet people, I also paiseh because cannot remember their name. Then they will come, do you know me? So I say, looks familiar lah. Right? Then they will say, oh, Ayah, do you remember you said like this to me? I take your word and practice. I'm okay now. Many times I meet people, they will come and tell me, but I cannot remember their name. But I know that, I've seen them, probably I've talked to them, but they remember what I tell them what to do, and they go and do, and they find it helpful. So you never know. Right? So opportunity for others. So we just don't be shy. Jangan satu kali habis cerita. Right? Have faith, and when you practice well, you can always invite. If people turn you down, don't worry. It's okay. But then say, next time lah. Then next time I'll go makan, I will invite you. Then they will be happy to come. Right? So these are the things I said. For the institution, for the Bhikkhuni Sangha or Bhikkhu Sangha, for our lay practitioner. Right? If we know the Dhamma, which is good from the beginning to the end, then the Buddha said, then we should make Dhamma known. Right? All these institutions for what? Is to benefit people, to bring well-being to them. Okay? In summary, always associate with the wise. Right? How to associate? We say, hey, we got the Buddhist center, we got the Gotami Vihara, Arya Vihara, and many other Buddhist center. So center that you find that you can learn the Dhamma, you can practice the Dhamma, you have good people around that support each other to grow in the Dhamma. So, okay, you associate with them. Right? Then, hear the Dhamma. Don't come for festival only. Don't come to meet friends only. And another term that Ayah would like to correct is, don't just mention this word Kalyana Mitta and misrepresent. Kalyana Mitta. So sometimes you say, this is my Kalyana Mitta. For what? High tea. Oh, this is my Kalyana Mitta. Go for shopping. This is my Kalyana Mitta. Go for holiday. Is that Kalyana Mitta? No. So don't misuse the word. Right? Kalyana Mitta, the Buddha mentioned, is what? Beautiful or spiritual friend. The Buddha actually referred to himself. Right? That whoever associate with him, right? Or associate with somebody who has walked the Noble Eightfold Path, or who has possessed, or means enter the stream of Noble Eightfold Path. These are called Kalyana Mitta. Jangan pergi makan-makan, shopping and holiday. You say Kalyana Mitta. You can say your friend is okay lah, but don't say the word Kalyana Mitta. Okay? But you should associate with Kalyana Mitta. Right? Those who are walking the Noble Eightfold Path. Then, yes, when you associate with them. So you must hear the true Dhamma. Then, wise attention, pay attention when you hear the Dhamma, so that you can put into practice. A lot of people say, I know. Number 4, practice in accordance with the Dhamma. Right? I know, but do the opposite thing. Right? So a lot of people learn about the Dhamma, but didn't put into practice. So when they don't put into practice, so the benefit of the Dhamma, the fruit of the Dhamma, they never taste. Right? And also Buddha gives simile. Don't be like the ladle in the soup. You're in the soup. Tasty soup. But ladle can taste or not? Cannot. So the Buddha said, don't be like a ladle in the soup. Because you are seems like you are in the soup, but you never taste the soup. Right? So you must taste the soup. Then only you say, this soup is really good. Right? But you are a ladle, you are in the soup, but you cannot taste. Right? So that means something somewhere is missing. So you must taste by practicing. Right? Then the quality of the Dhamma is what? Number one, is already well expounded by the Buddha, well explained. Right? And then it is sanditiko. You can immediately, when you practice it, you can immediately see. Right? Sanditiko akaliko is timeless. Right? Timeless. During the Buddha's time until now also same. If you steal, you feel guilty. Today also, if you steal, you also feel guilty. Right? Then ehipasiko. Right? Inviting investigation. The Buddha's teaching is not meant to be mere belief only. Yeah? You need to find out the meaning, put it to the test, and then after that, understand, okay, this cause, this effect, this is the condition, then how we should practice in a good way. Then, of course, Opanayiko means onward leading to Nibbana. So you practice and practice, it should lead you to Nibbanic bliss. So what is Nibbana again? If you experience the cooling off of your greed, hatred, delusion, right? Your craving, everything, then you know that you are actually experiencing the Nibbana path already, right? And of course, Pachatang Veditabo Vinyuhiti means onward leading to Nibbana for those who practice and see for themselves, right? So it cannot be something like, I empower you, I will give you that enlightenment or awakening. No such thing. You just have to practice. Okay? So, lastly, we wish all of you, and this is a very nice background. It's in Sri Lanka. A very like dreamland. Very interesting, that resort. They got lakes and greens and everything. So, something like we feel the Dhamma is something at peace, calm, peaceful. And so this is what Dhamma is all about. And the teaching and all this, the Buddha put it in a sacred structure. It's in the whole package one. But only how we see, how we bring this structure to support the system so that it can last longer. All right? So thank you very much for your attention. Yeah.